Hey everyone, and welcome back to Isyour6covered. Appreciate you guys showing up. And if you guys don't laugh today, you were never, ever going to laugh. So hopefully you guys had a wonderful weekend because I know I didn't. Today we're talking about the MPA Spring Shootout, a 2-day centerfire match put on in Georgia. So got back last night from 2 days of just, whew. So we'll give you some backstory, and then let me get all the stuff out of the way so I don't make any more noise. But it was a lot of fun after the match. It was a lot of fun before the match. And tonight's sweet tea is the Bojangles sweet tea from this morning. So hopefully everybody's having some fun. We'll wait for everybody to show up, and while we're doing that, we'll say hi to Mr. Rifle Mania. Came in first place. Rifle Mania, congratulations. We got DW in second. Eagle Eye shooting out there. If you guys didn't know, Mr. Eagle Eye, Desert Precision Gunworks, is actually sponsoring tonight's chat. So thanks, DP Gunworks out in AZ, Arizona. Hopefully you're doing well. We got Mr. Willard out there, David Martin, Mr. Les, Papa's Place, Rich Freeman, your pal Matt. If you guys didn't know, Matt had him and his wife had a lovely baby girl about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And we got Mr. X-Ring in the house. We got Abigail out there from Florida, Wombat from West Virginia. He loves saying West Virginia. West Virginia. Who else we got out there? We got Ramsey Country. What's going on, Mr. Ramsey Country? You might like tonight's story. We got Mr. Treefeller all the way from Australia. He's actually coming to visit pretty soon. Mr. Tim Rink, Richard Arthur, Todd Simonson, and Sean D is in the house. Chris Beck. Mr. Chris Beck, I think, is shooting this. I think he'll be here this next weekend to shoot some Rimfire. Tonight, we're going to be talking about that dreaded reloading centerfire bullet. And it's called, well, for me, it's called the 6 Creedmoor, which shot amazing. My rifle was amazing, shot amazing. It's actually by Desert Precision Gunworks out in Arizona. But the guy behind the rifle, that is a story that we're going to talk about. Lance Hawley's out there. Welcome. Who else? John Rollins. Let's see. Make sure I got everybody. We got Outlaw. Josie Wells is out there. Lance Hawley. Jack Porter. Scott Bass. Todd. I said Todd. San Miguel. Vanessa Kitty. And Mr. Hold Left Edge and Send It. Well, that just doesn't work in Georgia when we're having some wind. Now, the wind, I'm going to talk about wind for a little while and how much it was a pain in the ass to shoot. But at the end of the day, the second day, I didn't have any wind and I still couldn't hit shit. But we'll get into it. As you guys know, if you've been with the channel long enough, I'm going to tell you all the crappy stuff I do. And every once in a while, when I do something good, I'm going to tell you all about the good stuff I do. So here's how it went down. So 3 matches before that, I think, I was coming off of I came off a second and 8th at VOD, a second at DRC, and then a first at Gunline. Then I had another first, I thought. Oh, and the first at Outlaw Rimfire. So I was really doing really well. And my spirits were high and everything was good. We got SoFlo out there. We were in the same squad together. He actually shot really well. Good job, Eduardo. And inside of this squad, well, let me get through it. So I was feeling really good about shooting Rimfire. Felt like I was getting, felt comfortable behind the rifle. I felt like things were going good. I felt like all the practice that I've been doing was finally coming together. Things were starting to line up and the stars were aligning. And then I signed up for a centerfire match. Yep, a centerfire match. So I signed up for the MPA GA. This is the spring shootout, like I said. I got another centerfire match in Alabama, I think in a couple months. And I got to do all the stupid reloading stuff that, man, 22 is where it's at. You don't got to reload. End of story. X-Ring says. Yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, so, I really feel confident about getting good, stable positions and all sorts of stuff, right? And everything's the same except the rifle's different. We got a little more recoil. You got to reload, which sucks. You got to but there's a lot of things that came into play. So Friday in the morning, like 6 in the morning, headed down to Georgia. I think it was 4.5 hours, something like that. And a nice, enjoyable ride during the day. Got to see the sights. Got there. We did a zero. You got to check out all the barricades. You could actually dry fire on all the barricade stages. You just couldn't shoot from them. The facility was amazing. It was a great place. And it's nice that they're doing that now out there. So really love basically the range was set up really nice. A lot of covered places for shade or for rain, possible snow. We didn't get any snow, but it did get cold. So Friday was a nice day. And then we had a rain, basically had a storm come in, probably impacted a lot of you guys as well. But we did get some heavy winds. We did get some heavy rain. But luckily on Saturday, throughout the match, it was actually a decent day minus the wind. So the storm either passed by or somehow we were getting influenced with pretty good wind. There was a couple times that a couple kestrels read like a 40-mile-an-hour gust. I will say that it wasn't crazy wind when we were using the kestrels and trying to get all the data and that kind of stuff. I would say you're probably shooting in 9-mile-an-hour winds, 9 to 12, and then sometimes it'd be 4. But that was kind of where my kestrel kept reading, was 9 to 12. But it was a very tough time for me. Some of the things that I noticed, and Ray and I, or X-Ring and I, had talked about this in the past about, not so much, how much harder is this centerfire to the rimfire, or is rimfire harder than the centerfire? And at the end of the day, I thought rimfire would be, more difficult. You got a lighter bullet. It's going a lot slower. So you really got to kind of figure out the wind and that kind of stuff. And we shoot to pretty far distances, out to 500 occasionally. I think it's only been like 2 matches where we've had to shoot out to 500. But for the most part, you're really using that reticle in your scope. I mean, you're dialing a lot. You're holding way down on the bottom of the reticle, whatever the case is. And with centerfire, your bullet's going a lot faster. You're shooting a lot farther, but you're not dialing as much. Some of the things that I noticed was you got a lot farther. So, I'm using Vortex Gen 3. I got pretty darn good top quality glass, and there was a lot of mirage, especially on day 2. It was a colder day. In the morning, it finally started warming up. There was no wind, but there just seemed to be a lot of mirage. So not being familiar with the course or that range, in between these tunnels of trees, there's other cross trees, so it has a lot of things can affect the wind in your bullet as well. And it was tough. The first day, though, when you missed, you thought, well, it was probably a bad wind call, or it was a bad wind call, or whatever the case is. But it seemed like, I don't know, I felt so much more comfortable. Like I felt like a lot of the targets, because we shot out to 1,000 and I think it was 10. Let me see real quick. Yeah, 1,012 yards on stage 5. I believe was the farthest targets. And some of them were up close, kind of like a more difficult barricade stages. But it was on a lot of them, I'm like, man, I almost feel like I could have shot this with the 22 and done better. It just seemed like I wasn't. And Dick Hedges shot in our group as well. He was shooting a 308. And congratulations to Dick. He actually beat me with a 308 gas gun by 1 point. So you could tell I definitely had a bad day. We shot really, I think it was 124, 127 shooters. And I got like 107th place or something like that. So it was bad. It was really bad. For the confidence that I had going into it, I'm thinking, man, okay, I think I got the position thing down pretty much. I just need to be better at recoil management, spotting my shots, and those are the things that are going to be the more difficult part for me. I was spotting my shots. I was spotting my misses. Actually, I was spotting my misses easier than I was spotting my hits just because the targets were completely grayed out. You start in the morning with fresh targets, but as you keep moving on, everybody shot everything, and you finally make a big loop, and you finish for the day. But by the a few stages in, the whole damn target's gray, so you can't really tell. You're looking for the rock of the target to rock. Sometimes I saw that, sometimes it didn't. What's up, Mario? But it was really tough. I had a tough time. So I'll start off the day, and the day started off like this. We started off on stage 13 just because of the mud. So we actually did tomorrow's stage or Sunday stage on Saturday, just on this one. And we started off, it was easy. It was 392 yards, 500 yards, and 606 yards. And that is not far. That is not far at all. Start with gear in hand. Shooter will engage target B1, B2, B3 near to far with one shot each from 3 positions. Hit or miss, move on. So very simple, 392 yards. This was one of the things I'm like, man, I could probably shoot this with my 22 better. I could have shot the stage. I ended up with a 3 out of 9 total points. And I was like, whew, maybe that was just first stage jitters. I'm hopefully do better. And let's just say that the day went to shit. So then I went to stage 4. So now we're back on the right day here. Stage 4. And this one was basically, let's see, it says start with gear in hand. From designated start position, shooter will move to bench 1. So now we're shooting basically modified prone and engage big to small with 1 round each. Hit or miss, move on. Then shooter will start over and again engage big to small with 1 round each. So this is modified prone. You're on a concrete bench. You got your bag in place. You got your bipod already figured out. Basically, you're just holding it up in the air. You put it down, you find your targets, and you should just go to town. This is at 390 yards. And I'm thinking, okay, first stage, jitters. I got this. Possible 10 points on this one. And guess what I walked away with? I walked away with 2 points. Now, I have all the video footage. I actually have myself, Chris Simmons, which Chris Simmons did really well, Dick Hedges, and Ben Blevins. I have a few of his as well. But get up there, I do my shooting, and I'm not hearing impact behind me. And I'm like, what the hell? And so I'm trying to go, and this is day 1, so it's got some serious, not serious, but it's got some definitely wind behind it. And I'm going, I'm not hitting shit. And it was a turd sandwich basically. So 390 yard shot, not a big deal. Basically, know your limits in order from big to small. And I walked out of that stage with 2. Now I got no wind in the sails. My boat is already sinking, and it was bad. So 2 impacts on that one. It was like, what in the hell is going on? Some of the things, and I won't go through all the stages. There'll be some video footage if you want to see it, not live, but exactly what happened, what took place. And there was one stage where, let me talk about this stage for a minute, because it was, oh yeah, it was this stage here. It's called the confirmation stage. This was stage 20. You shot out of well, day 1 you shot out of off the top of this big rig thing, and then there's like a trailer attached to the back, and the back you're sitting on this like open panel, but you're basically modified prone again. And you shot out to 893 yards. So you shot 374 yard target, then a confirmation target at 657. Then you went back to 576, then back to confirmation, back and forth all the way out to 893 yards. So these happen. These are stages where you have to figure out, okay, do I have enough time to dial? Do I have enough time for this? So when your confirmation is in between your short ones and your long distance targets, you really got to come up with a game plan. And then you got to know your game plan so that when you actually go to shoot it, it's stuck in your head enough where you remember to either dial or hold under or over on your reticle, depending on what's going on. So the timer goes off. I get up, I put my rifle down. Things instantly go to crap because it says, start with gear in hand. Shooter will engage target Z1, then confirmation target. Well, now this is basically at the end of the day too. So my sail, all the wind came out of it. It tore. The mast broke in half. The boat had a hole in it. And then my little dinghy that's going to save my life as a spare, that got eaten by a big shark. And then my freaking my vest, actually, the stitching left, and I sunk and died in the ocean. So it was horrible. So this target, this was on day 2. This was number 20 for us, stage 20. And there was a lot of things that I normally don't even do. And okay, I'm modified prone right now. I got a rear bag back here, and I'm basically shooting down this tunnel of trees, and the targets are all basically in line-ish. You know, it's not like I have to come way over here, and I got to come way over here and search for all these targets. So it's basically easy, but not easy. You got to dance back and forth or dial or whatever you're going to do. So put the rifle down. I put my rear bag down, get it all perfect, and I shoot the confirmation target. So instantly there, I screwed up. And the guys all know you needed to hit Z1 first. So then I needed to hit the confirmation target. So right there, instantly, things were falling out of my brain. Things were leaking out of my ear, which was my basically the brain fluid out of there. It was bad. So I got a 3 on that one as well. The highest I scored the entire week was an 8 out of 10. And I have a 7 and a 6. I have a lot of 4s, a 5, a 3. So I got a 0 too, by the way, on stage 2, Black Hawk. Basically shot from a helicopter, not up in the air. You shot through the door. Basically, you laid across the back seats. And the target was freaking, it was only 455 yards and 548 yards. Some of the targets were really small. I printed the best groups with the Desert Precision Gunworks rifle probably ever. And I've shot some really good groups with that thing. The problem was the groups I shot were in the dirt just to the right of the target. So as the rifle would recoil, I was seeing my impacts. If this was the target, I kept hitting right here. And my brain would not tell me to move because the wind was going this way. Bring the reticle over to this way, Rick. So I don't know. It was flipping horrible. But let me get out here and see all these awesome, crazy comments here. I was jerking the trigger first, but a few failure drills. It's back in action. Let's see here. Where are we at? For those that are interested, there's a team DMR match in Clinton, South Carolina on April 8th, 9th, and 10th. Sign up and have fun. Yes, there is. Actually, Kenny and X-Ring are going to be shooting that one, I believe. Let's see. I was recovering from a fail. A tree fella had a muzzle brake full of mud. It's X-Ring's luck for starting a course during a hurricane. Let's see. Impact occurs in western deserts. Todd Simonson says, what's a DMR match? Designated marksman. Designated marksman rifle? No, it's a... I can't remember. My brain's not working right now. Ramsey Country. Can you put a new barrel on Rick's 360 so you can buy it, please? Team designated marksman rifle. Yes. The English is backwards. Scissors would be pronounced skizzers. What in the hell are you guys talking about here? Let's see. Two-person team. Targets out to 750 yards, run 5.56. Or any other gasser. Yeah, Dick did really well with this 308. There was a couple people in on our squad that were shooting gas guns 308, and actually one of them did really well. He actually won TAC division, I believe. So what are you trying to say, Rick? Things weren't going well. Yeah, Tim Rink, things were not going well. Things were not going well at all. Ozzy Steve's out there. What's going on? So it was bad. It was real bad. So things I learned. I think Ray asked me, what is some of the takeaways from the match? And it was hard to answer him because I don't know. There's either too much involved some of the takeaway was I just suck at centerfire and I need to practice. So some of the difference between rimfire and centerfire for these matches was, one, you're shooting a lot farther, which in turn you're having to look through a lot more mirage because the targets are a lot farther away, and you're also having to figure out the wind from a lot farther distances. So, say you're shooting a rimfire 22, right, and you got a 300-yard target, which is pretty far for a 22, but I only got to figure out wind from your rifle to 300 yards. Some of the things that is more difficult for the centerfire that I noticed was now I need to figure out the wind that's here at 300 yards and 600 yards and 1,100 yards. So that all that is in place. You're looking through more mirage. You're getting barrel that's, your barrel's a lot hotter. So you're getting more mirage coming off the barrel. So trying to see your impacts, trying to see your impacts in the dirt, because I did a lot of that. And I was shooting well, I would say. I mean, my groups to the target and my brain not working like we talked about, but the group was perfect. Like if I would have just was smart enough to go, okay. And I noticed that. So I'm engaging the target. I'm seeing it hit. I'm like, okay, 2 more tenths. Well, 2 more tenths isn't enough. If I would have took 2 seconds and went, okay, here's where I'm hitting, and here's the edge of the plate, and that's like 8 tenths. Well, if I go a tenth, it's going to take me 3 more misses to even get onto the edge of the plate. So I need to go, I need to hold 4 more tenths or whatever to get my ass over to the target. So those are the things that I guess you learn after you go to a bunch of matches and really suck. So if you guys didn't know, I started this adventure, Ray and I did, out in Utah, shooting the PRC, Precision Rifle Challenge. It was put on. It was an amazing 2-day match. All top-level shooters. I actually got squatted with a bunch, which I don't know if it was a good thing or bad thing, but it was super humbling. Now, I've shot rifles all my life as a kid, never shot long range. I had the Tika out there, which is a 6.5 Creedmoor, never shot it past 700 yards. And we had one stage, which was the first one on, and I don't remember what it was out to. I think it was 1,412 yards or some crazy shit. I'm like, I don't even know where my bullet's going to be past 700 yards. Hell, I don't even know where it's going to be in front of 700 yards. And I learned a lot. I learned that I completely suck, but we've never even shot that style match before. We wanted to go there. We didn't have the bags that we do now. There was a lot of things just we were buying stuff and trying it out at the match. And it was a shit sandwich basically. And Ray did okay. He didn't, he's a top level shooter, but that's a whole different game. It's like if you're a dirt bike motocross champion and then all of a sudden they say, hey, well, you've ridden a motorcycle on the street. Why don't you go race freaking street bikes? That's basically what's taking place. 1375. Okay. And it was, so it's like a whole different venue of stuff, right? And learning how to use barricades and how to, all that kind of stuff, just completely different out of our thing. So I was like, you know what? I want to try this. This looks like a lot of fun. This looks like something you can do even, into your older ages if your health's halfway decent. And I'm like, this would be a lot of fun. So kind of went on this adventure. So bought the 6 Creedmoor by Kenny. And then started doing 20. There was a ton of matches going on. No one could find ammo. Everything kind of, the stars aligned into this Rimfire thing. So went super heavy into that and feel decently comfortable about shooting Rimfire at a match. Centerfire, no. So this is my second one. It's been 2 years. 2 years? Yeah, it's been 2 years now because they had one in between this one. So it's been 2 years since I've shot a centerfire PRS style match. But I'm thinking, hey, I've been shooting a ton. I got a ton of different matches up there. Basically, thinking in my head, it's the same damn thing, Rick. All you just got to do is shoot a different rifle. You're using the same optics. The only difference is you got to pull back a little bit farther to eject the case and then put it in, right? Well, not the case. Not the case at all. Not the case at all. Let's see. LOL, timeout, a stage, blame the mag. There's advantages and disadvantages of any platform who you build. That's another thing, Kenny. That's actually a really good thing. So what had happened in Utah is the magazines for the Tika were really going down. Tons of moon dust. I couldn't get it was like the spring was weak or something, or the thing, there was too much dirt and shit in there for the bullets to come up, basically, at the end of the day. And I was having feeding issues. I had to keep tapping the bottom of the magazine for it to basically pop up so I could load the next round. So trying to get a stable position and fighting through all that shit, I did horrible. I think I got second. It was the worst I've ever done in any shooting sport ever, I think. It had to be. It was like second to last, which is, it's okay. Even if you come in last, you were there, you're learning, you're maybe not having a good time, but at the end of the day, you get to go shooting. So I walked away from Hornady. You guys can go through the old videos. I mean, I was like, man, I suck at shooting. Like, I felt okay. I did, 3-gun and all sorts of stuff. And Ray and I had done quite a bit of just long range stuff, prone most of the time. And I walked out of there going, what in the hell? Well, I did the same thing this time. So I think you just got to go to matches. You got to, if you want to get good at anything, not only practice, but you got to get in the element of the people that are good. You're learning from them. You're watching them, seeing what they're doing, how they're collecting data for wind, what they're thinking. And the people are friendly. They're kind of like, hey, I'm basically starting off with 4/10 of, whole, left or whatever. Rick's brain is to blame, not Rick. Yeah, it's my brain. It was my brain's fault. Neither would most of us with 3 MOA targets. So it was really, really tough. The targets were super small on a lot of them. Some were decent and some were big. And there was, I'll be honest with you, as I always am. There was a few shots that I had broke, and I was impacting, and I'm like, I can't believe I hit that target. Like I wasn't even fully. I was pulling the trigger, but I was still like trying to get it perfect. And it was a tough damn match. It was a lot of fun. Morgan King, I think is his name. He's a freaking phenomenal shooter, younger guy, and he devastates everywhere he goes. He was actually one of I think he won actually that PRC match in Utah as well. The guy's freaking amazing. Tons of MPA sponsored shooters out there. They all shot super well. And it was an enjoyable time, but like I said, I got my ass handed to me. And well deserved too. I haven't been out shooting much centerfire. And only way to get better at anything you do is to practice. And practice is not going to make you perfect. It's going to make you better. And the only way to get better is to practice, but also go to these matches. Even if you know you're going to get your butt kicked, go do it. Go sign up. Let me jump out here real quick. Looking forward to VOD. We got super J larges out there. Hopefully it won't be too windy. Yeah, just so you guys know, if you're shooting that VOD match, we're not shooting across the pond anymore. Any longer will a bullet go across the pond. So there's been some new lanes cut up into the mountains, so it'll be fun. We got Mr. Ball and Curious out there. What's going on? Let's see. Oh dang. This is Drew Bradley, by the way. I was forced to get a new phone. It shows a new name. Not realizing it would show up like this. Yeah. You should have just put Seafoam Green on there. We would have known who was out there. Let's see here. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong at a match. Never fails. You can do same thing 100 times of practice. Then at a match, you will have a brain fart and boom, wheels fall off. Yeah, well said, Ball and Curious. Very true. He does a lot of pistol competitions as well, 3-gun. Until it becomes just normal habit, and you're like, oh, this is, and you can't even, you can do this for a million times. Say, oh, this is going to be easy. I think that's the times when I usually do my worst. But yeah, I was doing dumb stuff that I shouldn't have done. Oh, so back to this thing. So normally at one stage, you put your rifle on this table, and that was the confirmation one where you had to go back and forth. And I got my rear bag back here. I got it squeezed to the perfect height. I run the bolt, and then when I go to dial, I did this. And one of the guys had brought that up to me, and I'm like, God, I know this. I didn't say that at the time, but I'm like, it was just one of those things. So if you're doing that and you're already stable, it should be this. Change the knob here because you won't have to mess with this again. Rack the bolt and then squeeze the trigger on the next target. And nope. For me, I did this. Basically, the rifle drops a little bit, and then I got to squeeze the bag again, find the target, rack the next bolt. So just stupid stuff that I learned, a while ago. I was doing over again. I talked to always go out and shoot. Let's see. It was a tough match. It was also a Pro Series qualifier match. Yeah, the targets get a little bit smaller. I know on the AG Cup that I shot in Utah, that one, someone had said, yeah, the targets get smaller for the Pro Series AG Cups. So they make it tougher for the pros, which makes it really tough for the shitty guys like myself. But it was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with SoFlo, which is Southern Florida Impact. Let's see here. Good news is you probably were able to restock on hops from Prize Table. Actually, I didn't see any out there. I was lucky enough to win a T-shirt, which they gave out. No, but what I really got to win, coming in 107th place, was I actually ended up with a Timony 2-stage trigger for a Tikka. I guess nobody had a Tikka, and it was still on the prize table. And I looked at it, and I'm like, I can't believe there's a trigger still here, and it said Tikka on it. I'm like, hell yeah. So now the Tikka is going to actually have a really nice trigger. I can't shoot that in open or I have to shoot that in open anyways because of the scope. Maybe not now that the rules changed and it's higher. Oh, another thing I'm thinking about doing is I was talking to Dick Hedges, and he's going to be shooting production. So I don't know if he's so much getting rid of the gas gun, but he's going to be shooting production bolt gun. And he had ordered one from MPA. They make a production rifle. It comes with a Timony. No, it doesn't. It comes with the Trigger Tech Diamond 2-stage trigger in it. I think it's 2-stage. Might be single stage. But it's a complete production rifle. So the barrel, the trigger, the action is actually an Axiom. So it's a 60-degree throw. And I was thinking, shit, I might jump on the bandwagon and shoot production. That way we can battle it out. So it was a lot of fun. So you got a guy shooting a gas gun 308, and then you got this guy shooting a 6 Creedmoor in a custom rifle, and he beats me by 1 point. So kudos to Dick Hedges for kicking my ass with a gas gun 308. Should I have done better? Yes. Would Dick have done better if he was shooting a bolt gun in a better caliber? Yes. So it was kind of fun. We were bantering back and forth and smack talking, and we were eating with Chris Simmons, and we were all at the same hotel and stuff. And Ben Blevins, and Chris was like, I can't believe you kept shooting the same hole in the dirt just to the 4/10 freaking, or it wasn't even 4/10. It was like 2/10 right. He's like, he was pulling his hair out. Dick was watching him like just do this in the spotting scope, like, oh my God, I can't believe he keeps doing it. And yeah, so the brain was like, it is what it is. Let's see here. Appalachians, bootleggers. What are you guys talking about over here? I can shoot a 100-round box of 9mm and make at least one impact tube bolt. Let's see here. Jeff Cobb's out there says, Rick, have you talked about your indoor training system in any of your videos? How is it? It's actually right there. It is. It's not mine. I still haven't ordered that one. That one is still a good buddy of mine's. I'm still borrowing it. Obviously, I haven't trained with it enough. It is an amazing thing. I guess I could talk about it for a second. I know people had asked about it. I know that they had asked for it. Let me grab it. All right. It's actually really cool. So here's how it comes. I'll put it out here. So you got the poles. It's kind of like camp stake poles. Basically goes in there, and you can't see what in there is, but there's this piece. So this piece has legs. They turn when you go to pack it all up, but you turn them out like this to stabilize them. And then you just plug the pole in right here. There's the hole. You can see the hole. And then you just pull this up, and it's your training shooting thing. So there's a bunch of targets out there. I'm trying to get the light to not shine out. You can see some of those white ones out there. There's a lot more white ones out there, but you can't see them until you get them in your reticle because they're smaller. And you basically set this up inside your house, making completely damn sure that your rifle is empty and unloaded and safe. And what you do is you put this 12 feet away from where you're going to shoot from or practice shooting from. And you run These you can see these little boxes here. Inside of there is basically a scope cap. You can see that little hole, and that little hole brings your magnification back down to whatever it needs to be. In your rifle scope, it is looking like you're shooting at a range with like 1,100 yard targets. So there's all these tiny little targets. See all those little targets? You can see them all. They got to know your limits over here somewhere. Where the hell is it at? Must be on this side. But you can see all those little targets out there. There's the know your limits right there. But they're all different. And then if you go more, actually, down here tells you how big the targets are. 1 MOA, 2 MOA. And everything's marked up perfect so that you can practice and get better. Well, I would say that this is a good training tool, but I should have used it more because I didn't do well. But you can't pretend to manage recoil. So that's, you're still going to be fighting through that, but you can set up and get good, better, more stable positions, get used to where you need your bags and stuff and all that kind of stuff. So it is a good thing. And they're fairly cheap. I think they're like, for the kit, comes with the, you pick the scope, however big your objective is and that kind of stuff. Say it's 56 millimeter, you would order whatever number it is on their website, and you can get it as a full kit. And you can have a good time in the basement or in your living room or wherever. So it's definitely something cool. But that is called Indoor Dry Fire Training System. Let's see here. Hopefully that helps. Let's see. How you doing, Andy? See, correction, the program is called Moonshiners. Try to catch up. How come X-Ray and Matt P don't visit you anymore? Have you kicked him out? No, Matt P's got a brand new baby, so he's helping Mama out. And I was actually with Ray all day today. We were at work, and he actually came by a little bit earlier today, dropped off some stuff. See, Badrock rifles for production. Hammer. Badrock rifles for production. I'll have to take a look at that. See, Appalachians, not bootleggers. We, the bootleggers, but Rick is still a newbie. That's right. I'm still a newbie. Matt has a baby and I've been crazy busy. Yeah. I'm just getting to these questions here. Also, I don't really drink Jack anymore. I mainly drink Irish whiskey, says Abigail. Rick changed the combination of his door and they can't get it. Now they're always welcome over here. Let's see. Concerned sniper X-Ray got back from overseas. Wait until you see what he's got in the works. Now, what is Mr. X-Ray? Oh, all right. Well, if you guys don't know, Ray's got a new channel out there. Go over and subscribe to his new channel, even though his subscribers don't come subscribe to my channel. Just kidding. Let's see here. But yeah, he's got a car channel that he's working on building. Motor, maybe you can answer. It's motor. It's not motor boater. It's something 555. Motor. I don't know what the hell it's called. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Recoil management is the main thing I'm missing with dry fire. Yep. For sure. I bet that Abigail will make steaks, goosh kebabs. You guys are out of control here. Richard. Let's see. Is X-Ring a bootlegger as well? No, not a bootlegger. Just bought a 6.5 Tika TAC A1. What muzzle velocity did you get out of yours? I don't remember. I can get that answer though. Let me motor boater. Modern driver. There we go. 5555. I'm subscribed to all 3 or 4 of y'all's channels. I appreciate it, Abigail. Okay, so let me go grab my data book, and I'll tell you what my velocity was. Try to answer these questions. I don't know what's going to come up, so I can't bring a bunch of shit over to the... Dun, 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 dun. All right, for 6'5", I think they had said 6'5", Tika. Yep, 6'5", Tika. Now I'm using 147 ELD. Let's see if I can find the right section here. I don't know if I have any speeds in here. I know it's 47, a 147 grain ELD. Muzzle brake. 41 grains, yep. 43 H4350. I have no speeds in here. Clean barrel after. Huh. I don't have any speeds on. There's probably some in here somewhere, but I don't want to spend 50 minutes looking for it. If I come across it, I'll come across it. I can't remember. I don't know. It's got to be in here somewhere. Well, let me see. Snowing. Time. I got everything but speeds. I got dates, times, barometric pressures, density altitudes. I don't know. These are great books to have, but obviously you got to find this stuff. Purchase one of those LED flex strips that routes under the inside. Press for one. Yeah, that helps. Having good lighting while you're reloading is definitely important. Please note each LED flex strip, light strip is press design. Pay close attention. Todd says, thanks for any brands more popular than others. Jewel, Timony. I don't know. I've been a huge fan of the Diamond, the Trigger Deck Diamond 2-stage flat. There's a lot of good triggers out there, but it depends on what you're putting them in, I guess. I know the Kid Trigger and a Ruger 1022 is amazing. Timony makes good triggers. I like Trigger Tech better, but some people like Timony better, so it's more of a personal preference, I think. Any brands or Bix and Andy, yep. Trigger Tech, yep. Let's see. Electric vehicles are the future. We like it or not. I don't, but there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I tell you what, Ray's jumped on the electric car thing. Depending on what you're doing and what you're going to do with that vehicle, they're freaking amazing. Some of the trips that I go on, could I have done them with the electric vehicle? Hell yeah. I would say you can save a lot of money driving an electric vehicle, but it just depends on what you're looking for. I know we loaded up Ray's i3 with 5 rifles, 2 shooting mats, 3 tripods, bunch of ammo, all that stuff, and made it down to Clinton House and back, and it cost us $7. So, and I just did that trip last week. Was it last week? Yeah, like Wednesday or Friday or something, and it was like $60 in the 4Runner. So, yeah, if I did that all day long every day, you can definitely make up. You can definitely make up for it. The cool thing about the i3 is it's not like a Tesla and some of the other ones that are fully electric. The i3 has a backup generator, which if you have the hack program, you can actually have it charge even when it's not down to a certain percentage. So you can have it running to keep your battery more full, because I'm not going to say fuller, but you can go a lot farther than you normally think you could. And if it tells you 109 miles, it's really more than that. But I think it's because it has a, kind of a safety factor like they do with rope rescue stuff. It's like, it's really 150 miles, but we're going to tell you 109 miles so that you don't go 149 miles and run out. Let's see here. It cost me $80 to get to Tallahassee to Jacksonville in the F-150. Yeah, gas is stupid right now. We all know that. We all know why that is the case. But, if you're going to matches, you're doing whatever, you're paying for it, and you're paying for it because nobody wants to walk if you don't have to. Low Sto's out there. What's going on, Low Sto? So that's how that match went. I'm already at 51 minutes. I'm trying to keep it with just match stuff. So the takeaways again was lots of stuff. Practice and go shoot matches, because you just never know how crappy or good you're going to do. And the more times you do it, the better off you will get at it, even more so than what you're going to think. You're going to take away a lot from it. And there's I don't know if it's just a huge thing of stuff that I learned and then we're disappointed in, like I already knew that and I had to relearn it kind of thing, or whatever the case was. But I wish I would have shot better, but I'm sure everybody did. Now, a lot of people were having issues. I mean, I wasn't like I was the only guy out there missing, and there was I don't know, not quite a few, but there was some people below me. And at the end of the day, I learned that I gotta put as much energy and effort into centerfire as I did with Rimfire in order to see gains. And that's basically what it boils down to, unfortunately. I haven't even done any video editing of the match yet. I think when I walked away from there, remember I got home last night at like 11:30. So I was like, I haven't really had time to even try to put any of the video together. But I'll get the video out there. It might be a two-parter because it was a 2-day event, so there's a lot of video footage. But things you can take away from it was, he did good there, or he had a good position. You can I haven't even looked at the video, so I don't know. I haven't even been able to break down what I was doing wrong watching the video of me screwing up. And that's another thing too, guys, is the whole reason why this channel started. Well, one of the reasons was I wanted to record myself in order to get better at the time I was shooting pistol stuff. And then that works for everybody. Doesn't mean you have to post it to YouTube and start a YouTube channel, but you can look at yourself from basically over here, watching yourself, and go, oh yeah, this is, I'm wasting time, or I did really bad here, or that was a good thing I did, or whatever the case is. You can break it down, and having video footage of yourself shooting can definitely help you become better. So, I use the iWatch, whatever the hell it's called. And I probably only used it on like 3 or 4 stages, and I didn't even hear it. I couldn't even hear the damn thing. So shooting centerfire, I know Chris Simmons, he runs Grizzly Ears. So his actually Bluetooth to his phone so he can hear the lady talking, whatever the hell, Siri or whoever's talking in that stupid app, which is a good app. But it'll, they can hear 30 seconds or 10, 9, 8, however you have yours set up. So shooting centerfire, those things, it was like a waste of time trying to get that to work. I don't even think I used it 3 times. That was probably just twice. How many rounds of centerfire per year would be adequate for practice? Todd, it depends on how hard you want to hit it. I know with the rimfire thing. Remember, I dove deep into the rimfire stuff and kind of shit canned the centerfire stuff just for the reloading purpose stuff. But you shoot a lot more rimfire because you don't have to reload it. At the match, I can tell you the match was basically 200 rounds. We brought 250 rounds, but you need stuff to zero, that kind of stuff. It was at the point on day 2, I didn't even check my zero. I was like, screw it. I was like, it doesn't matter if I could shoot 100 today. I could miss no targets today and probably still suck. So it didn't matter. But it's a learning experience. That's what it boils down to. I think I paid $289 for the match. So those 2-day matches obviously cost more. But I think I got a $250 Timony trigger out of it too. And that's coming in 107th place. So I got a free Vortex hat, not this one. I got a t-shirt and I got a Timony trigger. And then I spent who knows how much on hotel. Well, that was $200 on hotel. And then that was splitting it with a guy for 2 days, Dick. And then, whatever fuel was. I haven't even added any of that up. I am keeping track of that stuff now because I'm trying to, now that I have my Isyour6covered LLC, some of the stuff I can write off. So as long as I'm showing the matches and showing all the stuff that I'm doing so they don't think it's shady or whatever the case is, and selling the targets and all that fun stuff. So actually, Wally, your target's going to be mailed out tomorrow to Kansas City. So Wally in Kansas, your target set is headed out tomorrow. So appreciate you ordering that. And other than that, that's what it is. Basically, at the end of the day, I can't tell you rounds. The more the merrier. I would say don't waste your ammo on crappy training. Either have a really competent shooter you can learn from, like X-Ring, or go to, one of his classes or Chris Simmons' classes or whatever. Get some real training will definitely save you from spending a lot of wasted ammo trying to figure out stuff when you can learn how to put yourself in the correct position for a barricade, how to capture a really great stable position using a bag or whatever the case is. Yeah, it costs money, but it's at the end of the day, it's a lot cheaper and a lot less heartache. Because if you learn something wrong, then you got to recorrect it, and now you're going back. Kind of like people that learn how to shoot a pistol horrible. They got to basically get all that out of there. Like me with flinching when I was shooting a pistol, I had a flinch, and I'd always did this, and I still do per se. Then you got to get all that bad stuff out to try to become a better shooter. So learn the right way, whether it's going to a professional class or someone that's really, really good, like who I had mentioned. Get the basics and then just try to grow from there. Trigger cam in the truck. I meant to run the match to view my errors, but getting a first-person view on how you shoot is gold. One of the best recent tools to train I got. Yeah, no, it really is. Being able to see where you're screwing up is a big thing. If I'd have known, Eduardo, I would have recorded you more. I don't think I have any video of you, actually. I try not to record people because, one, I haven't got their consent. I haven't even asked. And two, it just makes it long because then I got myself shooting and whoever else. But yeah, it's definitely a good way to see where you're screwing up, or you can save time or whatever the case. Oh, yeah. X-Ring brings up a great point there. You don't have to shoot a ton, but need to practice. Even a 223 bolt gun would help. Yeah, you're getting some actual recoil. Not a ton, but you're getting enough. Maybe even shoot it without a break. That might manage the recoil more, like a 6 Creedmoor or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's a great idea, but I'm just saying, like, to have to manage more recoil might be a smart way to do it. He says, that's my focus, getting into position. Plan on showing more soon. More on the manufacturing side will be. Yeah, if you guys get over to Eagle Eye's YouTube channel, great content over there. Or order one of his rifles at DP Gunworks. He is tonight's channel sponsor. Let's see, I just picked up a place, plenty of sun, and planted seeds and blocked them off. You should try to be a mentor for someone and teach them how to shoot. Makes you learn even faster. Yeah, David Henry, well said. That's kind of like rope stuff and being in the fire service. You know, you're the best way to learn something is to teach something. It means you got to go back. You got to read all the specifications of. I was a big rope guy. You know, making sure all the tensile strengths are what they are and blah blah blah. So when you're telling your students, you know, you really got to study up on it so you can make sure your students are getting the good information. So, well said for sure. Didn't know you have another channel. Let's see here. Thanks. Better luck with the potatoes than my ancestors. All right. So hopefully you guys, we're going to keep it at an hour. I'm just basically rambling on now. I appreciate everybody showing up. There's a few killer times out there on the Isyour6covered challenge. I don't have any semi-autos. I know someone had said their NRL matches have a ton of semi-autos, but I haven't seen anything yet. So good luck if you're doing those. It's a lot of fun, and I want to be coming up with next month's pretty soon. Hopefully you see some scores posted here shortly on Practice Score. See who wins for the month. That person's name will get the fastest shooter will get 2 tickets in the bucket to be pulled for the trophies, and everybody else that entered will get 1 in there as well. So even if you're not the fastest for the month, you're still entered to win the challenge. Not the challenge, you're entered to win the trophies. So if you guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about, go back a few videos, look for the IY6C target challenge. It's a lot of fun, and these are actually what you guys are going to be winning. It's going to be a hair smaller than this and a hair bigger than that. It'll be in between those two. But I think this next weekend, Travis should have them done, hopefully, and then I can mail them out. I know there's some match directors out there that are waiting for these to show up, so good luck. If you guys are doing it, go kick ass. You have till the end of March to put a time down. If you don't have a set of targets yet, shoot one of your buddies. If he has a set or she has a set, and if not, go order a set. All right. You guys have a wonderful, enjoyable night. Stay safe, stay warm, and, man, be careful. Who knows what is going on around this world right now. Take care, and let's go, Brandon. You guys have a good night.